Zach, what's that noise I'm hearing? Oh, it's just the leaves falling and the sound of the animatronic Halloween decorations trying to spook you and your dog.
Oh yeah, that's happened to my dog several times. He must hate this time of year. Well, hello to our favorite people, and hey, guess what? That's you watching right now. We'll kick things off with our popular 3 most interesting things that we've seen in July, August, and September. And then on to our stats and trends with the big question on everyone's minds: will interest rates drop and prices rise? Keep watching to hear our report. Number 1, we've reported on mortgage rates in previous episodes on our channel. This time it warrants additional conversation and making it into our 3 most interesting things. In September 2024, mortgage rates hit their lowest mark since early in 2023. After peaking close to 8% in October of 2023, we experienced rates in the low 6 and high 5% range in September of this year. So why did that happen? Well, largely because inflation has continued to be held in check. So much so that the feds cut the federal funds rate by 50 basis points, or 0.5%. What happened is mortgage rates decreased in anticipation of the feds cutting interest rates. Once the feds made the 0.5-point cut, we actually saw interest rates climbing. And that will be another story in our next episode in January of 2025. A lot is going to happen between now and then. Let's just say the presidential election will be a major factor in the direction of mortgage rates in the coming months.
Number 2, those of you who've lived in Denver for a while know what a loss it was when downtown El Chapultepec closed in 2020. The legendary jazz club was in business for nearly 90 years and played host to iconic acts such as Frank Sinatra, Count Basie, Wynton Marsalis, Tony Bennett, and Aretha Franklin. Since its closure, the property has been purchased by prominent Denver developer Monfort Companies with the intention of renovating it, as the developer has with other buildings on the block. The building, located at 1962 Market Street, was constructed in 1886 and has been home to a diverse range of uses, including a boarding house, bar, restaurant, and then the iconic jazz club El Chapultepec. Outwardly, it is an unassuming building with little ornamentation. However, as musicians took to its small stage, it gained a reputation as the place to play in Denver. The closure of the Peck, as it was affectionately known, has left a hole in the jazz and cultural community in Denver. Historic Denver, a Denver's nonprofit urban preservation organization dedicated to promoting and protecting Denver's historic places and spaces, stepped in when they saw plans to demolish the building in its entirety and lobbied with the developer to maintain some elements of the iconic building. For the past year, the 2 organizations have collaborated to develop a design solution that preserves key elements of the building while introducing modern enhancements. This compromise, achieved outside the landmark designation process, will protect this key place of Denver's history and ensure its legacy continues.
Number 3, when the Walton family bought the Denver Broncos in 2022, they paid the most anyone had ever paid for an NFL team. Now they're spending the most anyone has ever on a Denver home. Public records show a limited liability company with an Aspen address linked to the Walton family is spending nearly $50 million on a residence in Denver's exclusive Polo Club neighborhood. Up to this point, the most ever spent for a single family residence in the Mile High City was $17.7 million in late 2022. It's one of 2 they're demolishing to make way for a new mansion. The home will be built on what had been 2 adjacent parcels along Polo Club Lane and Polo Club Road. At about 6.5 acres, it has an 8,500 square foot main house on it, along with a 1,000 square foot guest house and 5-car garage. The deal remains the most ever paid for a home within Denver city limits. The residence, proposed to be built across the Polo Club lots, is expected to cost $20 million. Adding the land purchases brings the cost of the home to $48.2 million.
Never a dull moment here in the Mile High City. As you know, we are passionate about all things real estate and housing market. We're here to report on what we're seeing while giving our expert opinion based on our 50+ years of combined experience. Let's move into the all-important sales price numbers.
Median sales price is down 2% from the same point last year. While interest rates have improved, more homes to choose from, plus buyers being cautious about re-entering the housing market search are the big reasons why we have seen a slight downgrade in home values.
This number nearly doubled year over year. This is a number we're not used to seeing. Longer days on the market means more price reductions as sellers look for ways to encourage buyers to make an offer. Why is this happening? Our next stat is the big tell as to why median sales price moved down slightly and days on the market has increased.
Now on to the total number of listings on the markets. This is a 50% increase from the same time last year. That's another big jump, similar to what we reported in July of this year, and signifies the most number of homes on the market in over a decade.
And this is where we have encouraging news as we move into the final quarter of 2024. Total pending sales are up 28% since this time last year. This is a huge jump, no doubt brought on by the decrease in mortgage rates during the third quarter this year.
Now let's get to the trends and our observations. First off, we know the numbers are indicating that things were rather flat in the third quarter. The two biggest reasons: number one, interest rates remained high until September when we finally saw them coming down.
And number two, the looming presidential election. This happens each election season. More buyers and sellers put their moving plans on hold, choosing to wait until after the election to make any kind of major life changes.
Now let's talk about our qualified optimism on these two topics. Interest rates. Our most recent data actually shows a big increase in pending transactions during the month of September from the same period last year. The decreasing interest rates caused buyer movement, even while facing the headwinds of the upcoming election.
Now let's look at the impact of what happens to the housing market after the election. Home sales have increased after 9 of the last 11 presidential elections. More homes sell in the year following an election, no matter who is in office.
Not only that, but home prices have also increased in the year following 7 of the last 8 elections dating back to 1992. It's clear that the uncertainty leading up to the election creates more certainty in the eyes of home buyers and home sellers in the next calendar year.
So what's our advice with all of this uncertainty? Well, don't operate out of fear and be sure and make a plan.
And control what we can control. Our team always connects with our sellers and our buyers to create a detailed plan of action to eliminate as much stress and anxiety as possible, whether it's during an election cycle or any other time of the year.
We love bringing you our 3 most interesting things, plus the quarterly housing market update. If you get any value from this and you're thinking about buying or selling a home in the next 1 to 2 years, our team would love to be your real estate advisors of choice to help you develop your plan of action.
To talk or hear more pro tips, reach out to us at info@nelsonteam.com. We'll see you again in January 2025.
Bye-bye.